Hello, folks. Hope all of you doing good. If you remember, we are in a series related to the hydrostatic forces. Today, we'll try to understand the last case of how to calculate the hydrostatic force on the curved immersed surface. Okay, let us try to imagine the curved surface. This is one such curved immersed surface, and the free surface. Just observe this is a free surface. Let me consider a point somewhere here where the pressure is dP, but this dP can be resolved into vertical as well as horizontal components, and this alpha is the angle made by this dP with respect to dPV, the vertical component, and dA is that small area. So if dA is the area of a small element of curved surface, this lies at a vertical depth of h from the surface of the liquid, as we have discussed in the horizontal, inclined, and vertical cases. The total pressure on the elemental area we calculated with the usual notations, and the principal dP equals to P into dA. The pressure equals to, or the force dP is more often considered as the force here. Do not mistaken with that of the pressure here, and that's equals to gamma h into dA. P is nothing but gamma into h. So dP, which is more often called as a force here, which acts normal to the surface, but the total pressure on the surface is not still being discussed here, and we'll try to understand how to calculate the total pressure. So we know that P is the integration of gamma h into dA, but the direction of the total pressures on the elementary areas are not in the same direction, but it varies from point to point, and that's the reason that we do not go with the earlier approaches. We may need to identify one or two other tricks here to calculate the total pressure. So the trick, or the process that we adopt here, the simple one, that would be to resolve the force P into horizontal and vertical components pH and PV. Remind you, P is something which is written for the force, not for the pressure here. So the total force on the curved surface, probably after the calculation of pH and PV, can be written as P equals to square root of pH square plus PV square. Now even we can also calculate the direction of P with the horizontal, which is nothing but tan theta, and tan theta is equals to PV by pH. Now the question is, in the realistic cases, as we can see, in a part of a crest gate in a dam, how do we calculate pH and PV, and finally the value of the total hydrostatic pressure? So let me remind you, we are in the last case, the curved case. Now let me exaggerate this portion. Let me visualize this portion into this. You have a free surface. You also have the curved surface, just the curved surface, and you can see this as a perfect vertical and horizontal case here. Now the curvature can be imagined within this dotted red lines. Okay, now there are two components as far as a curve is considered. One for PV, the vertical component, the other one is pH, the horizontal component. Now the question which would be asked once again is how to calculate pH and PV. Let me remind you, we are in the curved case. pH is calculated as a horizontal projected curve somewhere here. Now this may be a curve, but if you project this on this surface, it becomes a rectangular one, and for this rectangle we use the same formula, F equals to gamma into A into h bar. Now h bar is the one which is calculated with respect to the free surface to center of gravity. Now this is how you project this curve and it becomes a rectangle, and upon this rectangle you calculate F equals to, or now it's P. P is the force, gamma into A into H bar. But how do we calculate PV? PV is the vertical component. More often here we call this as the weight. Okay, so the unit of weight is newtons. So the horizontal component is the total pressure force on the projected area of curved surface on the vertical plane, and PV is the vertical force, the weight component supported by the curved surface up to free surface. Now weight is calculated as gamma into volume, and the volume part would be very simple to calculate here. It's the unit width or the length. If it is unit, you multiply 1 to area, or if the width is given, the length is given, you just multiply that length to the area part. That's how you'll get volume. And gamma of liquid would be simply the weight, and that's about the vertical component. And once you have pH and PV, the force, total force would be square root of pH square plus PV square. I hope you have understood. We'll also try to follow certain numerical problems once we understand these concepts. Thank you.